things first, we have to talk about everyone's favorite discussion during the NFL season, the MVP race. And as of right now, today, October 14th, 2025, Patrick Mahomes is
shocking.
the MVP favorite.
This was shocking.
This is crazy. He's first above Josh Allen, who's in second, and then Baker Mayfield in third, followed up with Matthew Stafford around fourth.
Can I tell you why this conversation holds so much weight to me? You just now know this. I've said it a couple times. Y'all might just be realizing this. So I'm an MVP voter. There are 50 of us that have been hand-selected by the AP committee, Associated Press Committee, and I am an MVP voter. I get cussed out by Baltimore Ravens fans still to this day because last year I voted for Josh Allen. The reason this is so shocking to me is because Baker Mayfield should currently be the front runner for MVP. I fully understand what Patrick Mahomes has done with his team, but the fact still remains the Kansas City Chiefs are sitting at 3-3. Baker Mayfield is sitting at 5-1. Baker Mayfield has led 4 game-winning touchdown drives. Baker Mayfield has beat legitimate opponents. Baker Mayfield has won in every single way, form, and fashion. And even the game that Baker Mayfield lost against the Philadelphia Eagles, he kept his team alive and kept his team fighting. So shout out to Patrick Mahomes for keeping the Chiefs at 500, albeit they've had offensive line issues, albeit Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy have missed time. But the fact that Baker Mayfield is not number one is still kind of shocking to me. And in all honesty, if I can be for really real, I think there's a little bit of bias to it. I think there's some bias to the fact that Mahomes is Mahomes. We don't see Baker Mayfield as an MVP. We can't envision Baker Mayfield as an MVP. And as a result, people do not want to give Baker the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see him as an MVP either. It doesn't sound right that Baker Mayfield is leading the MVP race, but through 6 weeks he is. I'm going to take more of the LaShawn Shady McCoy take on this. It's 6 weeks. It's not the full season. I thought I got away
from Shady
You got to be able to see the whole thing. And the thing is, even though they have a 3-3 start, the Chiefs are now rolling offensively. And Patrick Mahomes is a huge reason why. He's leading the league in touchdowns now. They look as good as ever on the offensive side of the ball. They look like they're figuring it out. And now it makes sense. This is a projection for the entire season. The MVP is not won after 6 weeks of the NFL season.
Of course, but here's the dilemma is oftentimes voters are human. That's why I so much love this responsibility of being a voter, because now I fully understand how these things happen. And don't get it twisted. These awards matter. Josh Allen had a $1 million bonus in his contract, if I'm not mistaken, for winning an NFL MVP. So these conversations that we're having that y'all are watching right now aren't just flippant conversations. Like, careers are made and broken based upon these conversations. Players will go into the Hall of Fame or not go into the Hall of Fame. Your favorite player might get a gold jacket or not because of literally this conversation that we're having. That's how important it is. Here's why I am frustrated with the likes of Mahomes being the front runner right now. Voters, listen. Not all voters watch as much tape as I do. Today, right before the show, I'm watching Josh Allen Atlanta Falcons tape just to see what happened in that game. And it was actually revealed to me, Josh Allen just played like trash. Like, some receivers didn't get open, but the Falcons were rushing 6 people, and Josh just played like trash. Not all voters are actually watching tape. They're listening to, FanDuel has Patrick Mahomes as a favorite, so he must be the favorite. As opposed to, actually didactically breaking things down, conceptually breaking things down, based upon film, breaking things down. And so when you hear all year long, it's got to be Mahomes. It's got to be Mahomes. No Rashee Rice, no Xavier Worthy. What about no Chris Godwin? What about no Mike Evans? What about no Bucky Irving? What about no Emeka Egbuka for last game? What about all of those? No. What about the fact that Baker Mayfield and this Bucs offense are absolutely rolling right now, winning games on the road, winning games at home? What about all of that?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting case right now. Out of all of those quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes are the guys that you would expect to turn it up towards the later end of the season, especially with the Bills coming off of 2 losses and the Chiefs having a slow start. But Baker Mayfield is the one that gets the most weapons back out of this entire situation. Yeah. Sorry, the Bills, they're going to have to trade for A.J. Brown. I pray you do. Please take A.J. Brown away from the Eagles. But the Bills are going to have to trade for a wide receiver to be able to get more talent around him.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they're waiting for Rashee Rice to get back, and now you're starting to see, even after Xavier Worthy came back, they're starting to roll a whole lot more because they have field stretchers. Him and Tyquan Thornton have been incredible. But I think, like you said, Baker Mayfield gets Mike Evans back later. Yeah. Chris Godwin back to go along and Emeka Egbuka back. And they're going to be a problem.
The fact that Baker's been able to keep his team this good while those players have been gone, that's what matters. Because Patrick Mahomes, I do think he'll make a legitimate MVP push as the season goes on. Remember, Mahomes has his team at 3-3. If the Chiefs mess around and go 12-5, mess around and go 13-4, mess around and go 11-6, all of a sudden we'll be looking back and say, wait a second, this Chiefs defense wasn't great. Mahomes did this by himself. If Mahomes finishes the season with 40, 45 25 total touchdowns, that's a conversation that we really will have to have.
Yeah, no, I mean, you speak about the favoritism that Mahomes and Allen have amongst the MVP voters. Odds also dropped today for Super Bowl, and the leaders were the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills, followed by the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions, then followed by the Eagles and the Rams. This doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Well, you know what this speaks to, though? This speaks to how much parity is in the league right now. Now, I do not know why you have a team like the Rams there, and the reason being is the Rams haven't looked good for 3 consecutive weeks. You know, they beat the Baltimore Ravens, didn't look good. 3 weeks ago, they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. They didn't look good. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers in overtime. They didn't look good. So I think we just have the Rams there because of Matthew Stafford, because of Sean McVay. The Chiefs should be there. Yeah. They deserve to be there. They've earned the right to be there. I can tell you this, though, right now. Unless the Buffalo Bills figure out their offensive woes and unless they get Josh Allen help, ain't no reason for them to be there either. Yeah. Ain't no reason.
I guess the question is here, like, are you confident that the AFC still runs through the Chiefs? How many times? Like, obviously, we know Patrick Mahomes every year of his starting career has gone to the AFC Championship at worst.
Yeah.
Does that continue this year? It looks like early on, Chargers were going to be testing them. Yeah. Maybe the Broncos get hot and whatnot. Now it looks like, it's the Chiefs to lose again.
It's absolutely the Chiefs. But the reason is, like, you got to step on the Chiefs like one of them roaches and make sure they're dead. And y'all know what type of roaches I'm talking about, depending on where you grew up. Like, the Chiefs are the type of team that when you have them on the ground, kill them. If you let these Kansas City Chiefs into the playoffs, who gonna stop them? Daniel Jones? Trevor Lawrence? Justin Herbert? Like, who's going to stop Patrick Mahomes once he gets into the playoffs? I do not see a team being able to stop Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid once they get into the playoffs. Bo Nix? Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Who's going to stop that team? So for me, everything still runs through the Chiefs. Y'all have to make sure if you want to win the Super Bowl that you don't even let the Chiefs buy a ticket to the playoffs. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, they're getting a ticket to the playoffs, though. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. They're going to the playoffs.
Can the Broncos or Chargers not do anything about it in your mind?
No. Even if, I mean, like, wild card situation, you're not beating out the Chiefs for a wild card spot. Like, no, it's just not. This is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Last thing, keeping the Chiefs, Rashee Rice served a 6-game suspension. Yeah. My boy finally free Rice until it's backwards. It's finally backwards. He's going to be eligible to play this Sunday against the Raiders. How big of a deal is his return?
Gigantic. If you thought the Chiefs were making a comeback with Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is what makes that whole system go. Rashee Rice is allowed. He works through the middle of the field. Xavier Worthy, he stretches the field. Like, Rashee Rice is going to come back, and the Chiefs are instantly going to catapult themselves into an additional touchdown or an additional 10 points a game. And not only that, he has fresh legs. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's healthy at this point into the season. Usually at this point into the season, you've already played 4 or 3 preseason games, plus you've already played about 6 regular season games. So players got 9 games on their legs. Rashee Rice is coming in, and he healthy, y'all. He fresh. He the dude who's walking into that workout at the end. When you got your workouts with your gym, and they coming in 20 minutes in, and you've already finished one round. Like, he's coming in so fresh. So I think this automatically makes the Chiefs the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were that way anyway. After getting Xavier Worthy back, the offense has looked completely different. We do have a couple of super chats about this.
Talk to me.
Jonathan Henry said, "How is Patrick Mahomes number 1 LMAO?" Doesn't make sense. And then we also had another one from Jonathan Henry. Patrick cost them the game against the Jags with the pick 6. Yes, that was a momentum shift.
Here's why I hate Mahomes being number 1. Because if y'all remember when Lamar Jackson won the MVP, it was 2 years ago. Lamar was the favorite over Brock Purdy, though Brock Purdy had played better up until that point. Now, we saw them play one another, and Lamar outplayed Brock Purdy. Then we moved Lamar Jackson ahead. But we cannot continue to live off of this name recognition bias. You know, like, at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield is outplaying Patrick Mahomes right now. Baker should be in front right now. Now, if you want to suggest that Mahomes will end up being best when it's all said and done, by all means. But I do not like when you just go off resume, bro. It's like when somebody comes out with an album and the album ends up being a hit and you're like, but have you actually listened to the tracks? The songs are trash, but you're just buying it off the reputation of the artist. Now, Mahomes obviously hasn't been trash this year. He's been good. Baker Mayfield's been elite. No more, no less. He's been elite.